So, since this last summer was completely, murdered because of COVID-19, I didn't get to splish splash or do any of the fun summer activities that I wanted to do this summer. I have been having a lot of movie nights with friends over Discord at the very least, and in that time we've watched a whole lot of real stinkers, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about one that I especially hated. It's called Aquaslash, and it's one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Aquaslash is a 2019 horror thriller about a graduating high school class having an 80s themed end of year celebration at a water park where a mysterious killer is on the loose. It's clear that this movie's trying to resemble like old 80s slasher flicks. They make sure to remind you that throughout the movie several times.
80s style, fuck yeah! Talking fucking 80s!
But usually those movies have like a lot of slashing in them. Aquaslash spends a majority of its already super short runtime focusing on the drama between the large cast of characters, which is totally fine. The only problem is that they're just horrible. The opening scene in this movie pretty much matches the opening to Friday the 13th, beat for beat, because remember, this movie is an unnamed couple working at a water park sneak away from the rest of the group so they can only to be murdered by an unnamed killer. By the way, here's the type of dialogue writing you're in store for.
I want you so bad, baby. I'm saving this baby for you, baby.
Double trouble lover.
We find ourselves at Wet Valley Water Park, where the Valley Hills High School senior class is celebrating their graduation night. Here we meet Josh, our protagonist, along with his bandmates Chad and Slim. Their band is set to perform during a big bonfire party at sundown. And yeah, they pretty much run this school.
You guys know you suck, right?
It turns out Wet Valley has been hosting their school's grad night since the late 80s, and since their rules are known to be more than lax, the kids basically just get coked up and hit the slides. For my grad night, my school took us to a carnival in the middle of nowhere. I remember a kid offered me weed, and I said no because I was afraid of drugs. The kids looked less like this and more like this. There it is, that's me. This was before the whole. Yeah. As Josh, Chad, and Slim start setting up for the show, they're introduced to Conrad Carter, the maintenance guy. He's, well, you'll see.
I'm Conrad Carter. I'll make everything work here.
All by yourself? How old are you, man?
You want to find out, kid?
As it turns out, Wet Valley has a very sketchy past. Through a flashback, we see a young Conrad sending a little girl down a water slide to discover a man has mysteriously died for reasons we aren't told.
Didn't people die here? The Wet Valley murders?
Dying and being murdered are not the same thing, is all I'm saying. And have a good show tonight. Keep your head on straight. Once in a while, things can get a little bent around here.
Wow, what a warm welcome. Please leave. All right, so this movie wastes a lot of your time, so we're just gonna get past the next few scenes real quick. There's a sexy car wash scene that's really unnecessary, but it's great if you're like me and have caveman brain. We meet Tommy, the short-tempered park manager, frantically searching for his girlfriend Kim, who we find catching up with Josh. We find out that the two of them used to date before Kim left high school and ended up working for a water park, so Tommy naturally dislikes Josh. Me too, Tommy. Me too. We listened in on a voicemail Josh sent to his father, Michael, his neglectful father, inviting him to see his band perform. The kids all ogle over Priscilla, who's an older high school alumni and now staff member at the water park. But more importantly, she's holding a dead bird the entire time and nobody ever brings it up. Like, I don't understand the reasoning behind it. But at least they give us this little gem.
Would a virgin do this?
Hello?
So we find out that Alice, the girl from before, is involved with Paul, the owner of the park, who's also currently in a relationship with Bird Girl, and basically he's a big sleazeball that couldn't care less about anyone but himself. Like, a kid literally smashes his skull open and he's just like,
Yeah, thank you, doctor. Can you just get them out of here, please?
I'm sorry, I just don't have time for this, all right? Just scoop up the rest of his brains, just mash it back in. Good as new. So Josh and Kim's relationship sparks back up behind Tommy's back, of course. You might be noticing that for a quote-unquote slasher film, there's still a lot of fully limbed kids. So anyway, Priscilla is having dinner with Michael behind her husband Paul's back. We don't know what or why, but the blueprints we see in Michael's introduction scene imply that he could be here for another reason.
This looks absolutely mediocre. Don't hover. Thank you. Thanks. Go away.
Obviously, I want to point out that Michael's being an asshole, but also, what the fuck is the waiter doing? Just scanning the room like a cyborg. And wow, that's a really bold meal choice for what looks like a pretty fancy date. You look incredible, by the way. Oh yes, can I have the Sloppy Joe extra slop and your loudest bag of chips? So Josh and Kim sneak off to find some privacy so they can... Meanwhile, Tommy is none the wiser.
Seen Kim around?
I always know where she is.
Kim? Where's Kimberly? Kim?
Stop!
before you head down to your bonfire, got a little surprise for y'all.
Yeah, well, for my grad night, they had endless pizza, so it's not a competition. So the show's going off without a hitch. I can't play the whole scene because I don't want YouTube to come after me, so... All right, you get the idea, fill in the blanks. It turns out Josh's bully Phil took a video of them from earlier, which he sends out to everyone at the party. So Chad moves in with his signature limp-handed punch, only to get... I'm sorry, did Tommy just palm strike Chad in the back so hard he got like a foot of air? What is this WWE choreography?
You're all dead.
I'm sorry, that man just threatened to kill everyone and then took a crying woman against her will? Maybe we should do something? No? So Josh's dad leaves during the fight, and when Priscilla finds out that Paul's involved with Alice, she storms off, taking Slim along with her.
You know there's rules, eh? Like if a girl has a psycho boyfriend, you shouldn't be fucking around with her.
I could take him.
No, you couldn't. Josh, do you remember the past 10 seconds? Here, let me give you a recap. I think Tommy might have mashed your brain around a little bit too hard up there. What the fuck? Are you hiding in the bushes now? What are you, 5? So Michael's dad reveals to Josh the real motive behind coming to the water park.
You like this place?
Yeah? Why?
You want it? How'd you like to own it?
Wow, me, a musician, fresh out of high school, own a water park? No, I'm good. So Josh storms off, refusing to be bought by his lousy father, while Alice, overhearing that Paul plans to sell the park, runs off to confront him about it. Paul denies that the park is being sold, and Alice lashes out, believing Paul wants to make the sale in secret to cut her out of the deal.
Fucking good. Get so drunk you vomit. I hope you choke on it.
I'm sorry. Hey, let's start a family.
Don't be like that. Let's get married. All right, guys, are you ready for a waste of 2 minutes? In this scene, Kim barges into Chad's room because she can't find Josh. Chad awkwardly comforts her for about 2 seconds, then Josh shows up. Chad asks why his dad's at the park, to which Josh responds,
He wants something, and I don't know what or why.
Josh, he told you exactly what he wanted, like literally 3 minutes ago. Absolutely no new information was given to us in this scene. Oh my God, is it happening? It's kid killing time! So at this point, there are several people that could be the killer. It could be Alice, angry that Paul might be selling the park behind her back, Priscilla after finding out that Paul cheated on her for a high schooler, Tommy, the guy who literally yelled, "You're all dead!" to the entire class, or Conrad, because he's just one wacky guy.
Conrad's in charge. Large and in charge.
Anyways, we find Michael just looking around aimlessly when our killer finally claims a new victim. Before Michael dies, we get a good look at the couple we saw in the opening scene. There are kids in the background on the rides who somehow didn't hear the 3 gunshots and the man screaming for his life. And by the way, if the person that killed Michael killed these 2 employees before all the grad night kids even showed up, then we can already rule out like most of the suspects right off the bat. So moving on, we have this kid who we've never seen before at the park with his mom, right? We see that his foot's injured, probably after stepping on glass because Paul insisted they don't drain the pool. So like any good mother, she's like,
I paid for a full day, we're getting that full day.
And then gives him a plastic bag to wrap himself up in and tells him, "Oh, I'll go fuck off, kid." Then he finds a portable cassette player, he puts it on, he walks away, and that's the whole scene. But wait a minute, that scene could become significant in the future, couldn't it?
Priscilla,
I don't want to talk to you.
come on. Where'd you sleep anyway? I missed you.
You missed me?
I said I missed you. Can we just do this closer?
We're done, asshole. I'm busy.
Wait, let's start a family. Come on, we gotta at least start a family. Conrad discovers the blood of what looks like our couple from the opening scene somehow, still wet 2 days later, but we're still not sure whether or not he's responsible. So we finally reach the last event of the day, the sea snake competition, where the fastest group of 3 wins a $500 cash prize.
You guys ready for the sea snake? You guys ready for the sea snake?
Is this the entire senior class? Because there are like 20 people here, for fuck's sake. Also, I need to know if the director told this guy to do this or if he thought of that on his own. Oh my God, I'm sorry. His hair was definitely different earlier in the movie. I could recognize that weird mesh shirt from a mile away.
Has anyone seen Brad and Cindy? Anyone?
No one has seen your fucking lifeguards, dude. Get over it.
Burt Cocaine is here.
So Tommy discovers that the slide's been tampered with, but fails to stop people from going through with the race. Turns out beating up the entertainment, threatening to kill everyone, and then forcefully taking a whole entire woman doesn't gain you the trust of your peers.
Let's do this. 3, 2, 1.
Look, don't go down! The slides are gonna collapse!
What did he say? So Tommy's final effort to stop the race fails as he gets thrown down the slide himself. But which lucky team's going down the death slide? God, I just hope it's every single one of them. Oh, DQ, that's a DQ. Technically, they're not holding on to their partner anymore, so the C-stick has been compromised. That's a DQ. Paul, she's out, right? That's a DQ. So Josh's team celebrates their win. Suddenly, the kids start to realize that there's something not quite right with one of the slides. It's not funny. Guys, hey, it's not funny. Come on. Someone check her pulse. So Josh decides during the last 20 minutes of the movie to finally act like a goddamn protagonist by climbing up the water slide to rescue the others. I know this is supposed to be like a really horrifying moment, right? But you can't not laugh just watching Josh climb up the slide, dodging arms and legs as he goes up. Like, he's not gonna make it up there, but god damn it, he's trying. Sure, why not? As if Alice turning into a triangle with legs wasn't enough. Come on, we can see the hand in the shoe. Tommy becomes unable to hold on any longer, falling straight into the blades. Meanwhile, Josh is still, yeah, you figured that out yet? Conrad breaks his walkie-talkie, which means he's unable to go up and tell Priscilla to stop the ride. Apparently they don't have the ability to just stand at the railing and look down, or perhaps, you know, listen to all the screaming. Priscilla happily suggests that Paul and her join the race next, even though she's spent the entire movie hating his guts.
Enjoy the ride with your little sluts, Paul.
It's almost like she has ulterior motives or something. Josh comes up with a slightly less stupid idea, this time climbing up from the side of the slide to grab people as they come down.
What the fuck's going on? I'm gonna try to pull you up.
So Josh tries to pull Paul up, but I guess he just sort of gives up, like almost immediately for some reason. So anyways, Tommy gets a really bad headache and Priscilla's team wins the race, but throughout their entire celebration, they somehow don't stop and notice the pool of literal kid blood surrounding them. All right, Josh, third time's the charm, let's save some kids. And all right, never mind. The editor teleports Conrad in front of the slide and gets pushed down as well. I'm not sure how they didn't notice that Josh was covered in kid blood, but okay. We end on a sweeping drone shot where Phil and this other chick are just, you know, sitting poolside. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Oh, hey, Alice. How do you let that slide in your movie? How does that make it to the final cut? So it turns out the killer was Priscilla the whole time. Her plan was to dress up the massacre as a murder-suicide done by Michael, allowing her to gain the money from selling the water park since her husband Paul conveniently happened to die there as well. We see the flashback scene from earlier once more, now revealing that the little girl was a young Priscilla the whole time. Her father dies and the lifeguard is too distracted to help. So in return, she starts working at the park, then waits like 35 years to enact her revenge, huh? There are so many things in this movie that just don't connect. Oh, and remember that kid from before? Well, there's actually a mid-credit scene where we see him pop out from the bloody water, and that's it. I genuinely couldn't tell you why they put that there. Look, I know I shouldn't overanalyze the story because there really just wasn't that much put into it to begin with. Here's the thing, I can't deny that the last 20 minutes of the movie were not super entertaining. Like, it was a lot of fun to watch with friends. It's overly silly and gory and a little stupid, but that's what the entire movie should have been from the start, not the very last 20 minutes. I don't know, I don't know. Why did they change his hair halfway? It's fine.